Okay, so let's dive in. Did you know that data centers, the engines behind our digital world, use a massive amount of energy?
Oh, absolutely. It's something like 2% of the world's total power, I believe.
Exactly. And what's really wild is that figure's growing, like 15, 20% every year.
It's unsustainable growth, really.
It is. But here's the kicker. A lot of that energy, which usually just gets lost as heat, could actually be, well, reused,
Hmm.
harnessed.
It's a really interesting shift, isn't it? Thinking about managing that energy flow, not just consuming it.
Yeah. So today, we're really digging into this idea, an integrated energy management scheme, specifically for data center microgrids.
Uh-huh.
Our mission really is to explore how these new strategies, especially things like waste heat recovery and smart scheduling, can make these places way more efficient.
And cheaper to run, which is always a big factor.
Definitely cheaper.
It's interesting when you break down where the power actually goes in a data center, it's not all crunching numbers.
Right. What are the figures there?
Well, roughly 44% powers the actual IT gear, the servers, and storage.
Okay, less than half.
Yeah, which means the majority, like 56%, goes to other things, mostly cooling systems, but also power distribution, lights.
So the core issue then, if I'm getting this right, is that most of the electricity the servers do use just turns into heat.
Pretty much, yeah, basic physics. And usually that heat is just, poof, vented outside.
Gone. That feels like a huge missed opportunity. So much energy just wasted.
Exactly, and that's where this whole waste heat recovery idea comes in. It's got enormous potential, especially, in colder places.
Makes sense. Do we have examples of this actually working?
Oh, definitely. Look at the Stockholm Data Parks project. Even back in 2018, they were aiming to heat like 2,500 apartments using this waste heat.
Wow. 2,500 homes.
Yep. And their big goal, looking ahead to 2035, is to meet 10% of Stockholm's entire heating demand this way.
10%. That's incredible.
It is. And across Europe, the potential is estimated at around 56 terawatt hours of waste heat from data centers. That's a massive amount of energy just waiting to be tapped.
Okay, so this completely reframes the data center, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They go from just being energy hogs to actually being thermal producers.
Precisely. Thermal producers. And doing that doesn't just put waste heat to good use, it also cuts down their own cooling needs. Big efficiency boost.
Right, because they're not fighting to get rid of as much heat.
Exactly. Which points towards needing a more sort of holistic view.
Integrated energy management.
That's the term, yeah. It's not just about electricity anymore. It's electricity, cooling, and heating all managed together.
So what goes into that mix?
Well, you've got your conventional power sources, but also renewables, wind, solar, plus energy storage, both electric and thermal batteries, effectively. And of course, you're still connected to the main utility grid.
Okay, so it's a complex system.
Yeah.
And I heard you mention smart scheduling earlier. How does that fit in?
Ah, right. That's where it gets really clever, especially for costs. You use these things called delay tolerant or batch workloads.
Okay, what are those?
Think of big data processing jobs, system backups, stuff that doesn't need to happen right this second.
Gotcha. Tasks with some flexibility.
Exactly. You can schedule those jobs to run when electricity prices are lowest, maybe overnight.
So the microgrid planners, these sort of self-contained energy systems, can buy power when it's cheap.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It makes the whole operation much more economical.
But wait, renewables like wind and solar, they're not predictable, right?
Yeah.
And demand for power and heat fluctuates too. How do you manage that uncertainty?
Good question. That's where stochastic modeling comes in.
Stochastic. Sounds complicated.
It just means dealing with randomness, with probabilities. It's basically a two-stage planning model. First, you make a plan based on the forecast, what you expect to happen. Then, in the second stage, as the real-time situation unfolds, maybe the wind drops or demand spikes, you adjust the plan. It helps minimize the total cost while making sure you don't run short of power or heat, even with those forecasting errors.
Okay, that makes sense. You plan, but you also plan to adapt.
You got it.
So let's pull it all together. What are the big takeaways from looking at this integrated approach?
Well, the numbers really back it up. The model that includes waste heat recovery, it consistently delivers the lowest operating costs. Hands down.
So that heat recovery is really key.
It is. And here's something interesting. The cost reduction you get from using that waste heat is actually more significant than what you'd get just by, say, optimizing your combined heat and power units on their own.
Huh. So reusing the waste heat is more impactful than just making the initial generation more efficient.
In this context, yes. We also found that dynamic electricity pricing, where the cost changes during the day, leads to lower overall costs compared to a flat fixed price.
Right, because it incentivizes shifting those flexible workloads we talked about.
Exactly. You shift work to cheap hours, and bonus, that often means you can recover more waste heat during those periods too. It all connects.
And the stochastic modeling, did that prove its worth?
Absolutely. By actually accounting for the uncertainty in renewables and demand, it performs better and results in lower total costs than deterministic models, which just assume the forecast is perfect.
Which it never is, realistically.
Never.
It's really fascinating how optimizing something previously seen as waste, like heat, can ripple through the whole system to improve efficiency and cut costs.
It really changes the equation.
It definitely does. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? As our digital world keeps growing, what other big energy-hungry processes might be creating byproducts we're just ignoring? Things we could maybe turn into valuable resources, just like data centers are starting to do with heat. Something to think about.